Howdy there, gang. So this is a little update in case anybody's thinking of buying new computers or just bought one, or it also is an addendum to my video about plugins and how don't waste your money on it. I picked up this new Lenovo Yoga laptop, which is an i9 processor and has all the features that they recommend for pro audio. It's technically Pro Tools approved, although not on their site, but the specs are approved. That's another thing you got to consider is what specs that are necessary to run. You definitely want at least 32 gigs of RAM. Shockingly, this comes with 32 gigs of RAM. I mean, normally you'd have to pay extra for that on a laptop. It's got a 1 terabyte solid state drive. That's fantastic. And of course, the processing and everything. It fits all the specs that Pro Tools recommends. It would work on Bitwig, Ableton, Cubase, whatever. Now, the first thing you got to do, if you don't know this already, is get rid of all the bloatware that they stick on these things if you're on a PC, right? I'm a PC guy. I used to be a Mac guy, but I've been PC for at least the last 20 years. And get rid of all the bloatware. Get rid of McAfee. Get rid of all the crap they put on it. Now, I have noticed in the last few years that there's less and less bloatware being added to this stuff. That's a big thumbs up from Big Ed. But there still will be stuff that you need to get rid of. Anything that's not necessary to run the internet or your video software, your drivers for video, your audio, get rid of it. Get rid of everything, but be careful. Don't get rid of stuff unless you're sure, but there's still a lot of crap on there that you will not need. So first step's get rid of all that. For those of you that don't already know, although probably you do, is the next thing you want to change is your power settings so that it never goes to sleep. The screen, the hard drive never goes to sleep. And then, of course, when you're not using it, shut it down. Shut it down. Computers need to be shut down overnight when you're not using them. It helps them regenerate. I'm not a technical expert on this, but Bob Olson explained to me that, it needs to regenerate the codes and yada, yada, yada. It's really important. Stay on top of your updates. I update my plugins and my software weekly, as does Bob. So that's very important. The other thing you want to check right away, like for instance, Lenovo, they almost all have this. You want to check they have an app of some sort where you can check for updates within the actual computer. One thing I didn't do right away, but I did within the first 48 hours, I wish I had done it right away, is there was a BIOS update. So I updated the BIOS, and then this computer also does something called a smart performance scan. That's what's coming up here. It runs the smart performance. I'm all the way at 100% here, so that's really cool. Very exciting. But they all have this app of some sort. This one's called Vantage. You want to do that. Now, the other thing I did do on this that I didn't do with all my other computers, and I'm glad I did, is I definitely did not install every one of my 900 plugins. As I said before, there's like 200 I use, and I don't even think I installed those 200, although maybe, in the ballpark between 150 and 200. And you know what? Even my most complicated mix session that I do, like sort of a Michael Brower type thing, an analog with lots of aux bus mix sessions, and it is definitely the most CPU intensive session I will ever run. That runs on this. So that's another big thumbs up. And it only costs $1,400 on sale at Best Buy. We also here in Tennessee have a tax-free weekend, a back-to-school tax-free weekend. So I got the tax back on it. So it was $1,400 minus the tax, which was really cool. And it's running no problem on my RME Babyface Pro. This is not the Babyface Pro FS. This is the original one. Works flawlessly through the USB 3.0 port. I'm running a USB port off of the USB-C. And I've got my solid state hard drive off of that. That's what I'm running the Pro Tools and backing up to. And then, of course, there's the USB input for the Babyface Pro. And then I have another USB input. This came with a lot of, it was great. The only thing it didn't have was Ethernet, but the wireless card is fantastic on here. It reaches in the other room, very powerful. I did a speed test. And then on this other USB, I have my wireless mouse, my iLock with my authorizations, and another little hard drive. So if you're doing this, this is so I can travel and do whatever I want anywhere. Like I said, this can do the most powerful session I ever run, which I couldn't do on my last laptop, even though it was set up for Pro Tools. It was 8 years old. It wouldn't run that session. It would open, but it wouldn't run. So if you're looking to get a laptop, these are like really highly rated for audio online. A lot of people talked about using the Lenovo Yoga, Evo, whatever else it's called. It's actually got another name for it, but it's the i9, and it's super duper fantastic. I can't say enough about it. It was a good deal, and I just finished setting it up, so I thought I'd share with you. If you want to do this, go ahead. But again, I've got a lot of free plugins on this one. I did not install my Waves because you can't, you can get dual licenses for Waves for most of the plugins, but they run out after a year. I didn't want to spend the extra money, and that's the point. Don't spend the money. You can run your rig off of this. The only difference with the Babyface is there's only 2 inputs instead of 4 plus, because my Fireface 802 has 4 on the end, on the face of it, but tons more on the back. That's okay. When I'm on the road, I rarely need more than that. Oh, and my favorite mouse is the wireless mouse is this Logitech upright mouse, because, from 32 plus years of doing this, I've gotten a tennis golf elbow, and this Logitech wireless upright mouse is super accurate and takes the pressure off my elbow. So that is the new portable live rig. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions about these or setting these up, or if you're a PC user, plugins, whatever, reach out. Happy to talk to you. Peace.